You know, we really challenged our team over the last couple of days to get a lot better defensively, which I was really proud of our effort. Because I think Miami of Ohio is a really well-coached team with Jack Owens, and they run some really good stuff, and they got some great dynamic guards. I thought our guys stood up to the challenge. I thought our effort was good. I thought the execution of our defensive system was much better and improved. It starts in practice, and I was proud of the way that we did that. Offensively, you know, I thought we shared the ball for the most part. There was a couple shots that were somewhat questionable, but again, like, you know, I think we matured. Thought we put together 40 minutes for the first time all year. Our group handled the lead for the first time all year as well, which was good to see. But we obviously got to continue to get better. There's a long season ahead of us, and our guys are committed to that process.
Coach, when you finally got a chance to look at the box score, how quickly did you focus on the fact that your team only turned it over 3 times tonight?
That was a big emphasis, obviously, against Miami. You know, Darian Ringo is one of the most disruptive point guards in the country. For Miami, he's top 15 in the country in steal percentage, and he picks you up full court, and he just hounds the ball. And I thought Q did a really good job overall. He had obviously 8 assists, 0 turnovers. But our whole team, you know, they took care of the ball, and that kept Miami out of transition when they're at their best because they got a lot of athletes and dynamic scorers. So I was really proud of our guys for doing that.
This afternoon at your shoot-around, you ended it by huddling up, and I think the last thing that you told your guys was, I want 40 minutes. And tonight they gave you that. How reassuring was it that your team kind of took another step in the right direction tonight?
That's big. You know, we've been, you know, for a while we weren't able to compete in practice with Quentin's injury, Zach's injury. All of a sudden, Najee got sick, and there was about 2.5 weeks where we didn't even compete. And you know, starting out in Maui is when we started competing again. I think we've gotten a lot better due to that. You know, I want to give Quentin Gooden and Tyreek Jones a lot of credit. You know, I thought those guys had very strong voices, whether it was in shoot-around today, whether it was in the huddles tonight. You know, I'd always come back into the huddle as we meet up as a staff real quick before we go into with the players, and I would hear Q and I would hear Tyreek talking about, hey, we can't let up. We have to be committed to what we call to getting 7 kills, which are 3 stops in a row, 1 kill. We got to get 7 in a game. And I thought our guys really listened and they followed their lead, and really proud of the leadership Q and Tyreek showed tonight.
Coach, can you talk a little about your importance of your transition offense today? 28 points off turnovers and 13 fast breaks points. Yeah,
you know, I thought Ben Johnson from our staff had the scout against Miami, and I, you know, when you watch a team like Miami, you got to take away a few certain things. And I thought our guys' details to the scouting report led to some of those results. Some of the steals that we had, we were more disruptive. I thought we were more locked in. You know, when Quentin Gooden plays that hard on the defensive end, and he's at the point of attack, and it's like I always tell him, when everybody else behind you is going to see you're either inspiring your team to play really hard because of your effort, or they're going to let the foot off the pedal a little bit if you're not in a stance and they don't see, you know, that you really want to have that intensity on the defensive end. And I thought Q did a great job. I thought Ben Johnson did a great job scouting Miami and taking away a few things, but that's huge because we got to be able to create more turnovers than we have up until this point in the year.
Coach, the scoring distribution was really good tonight. 8 different players had at least 6 points. How important is that to the offense to keep opposing defenses off balance?
I think it's big. You know, it's hard to scout. You know, like the go-to guy for us is always going to be the open guy. And, you know, when Quentin plays that way, when he had 8 assists, 0 turnovers, and I thought he controlled the game, you know, finding guys, getting guys wide open shots or layups, drop-offs. Man, we're a different team. We're a different team, and we have more than capable guys coming off the bench with Keontae, Elias, Ryan, Zach. You know, Dontaris made a 3. We have to continue to develop our depth, and that's going to be really important moving forward.
You guys held Miami to 24% from shooting beyond the arc. What do you think went right in defending the perimeter?
You know, I think it starts, again, just with the readiness. You know, like I think our guys, and we've made a huge point, you know, teams have shot 42% from 3 up until the Miami game, and that's been our downfall on the defensive end. And when you see that number, it's for a multitude of reasons. It could be, hey, transition defense, which we did a better job tonight. took care of the ball. Thought we took better shots, which made Miami become a half-court team. Then I thought we were there more on the catch with high hands than we have been here this early season. Our guys were there. We contested shots. We made them take some tough shots. And again, when you play against a team like Miami, who's an explosive team with Delonte Brown and Nike Sabande, like, your antenna always better be up when those guys are on the floor, because they could get it going at any moment. But our guys, I thought, were more ready to be there on the catch, which I thought was really big for us.
Travis, was that Hadji Marshall at 100% this evening?
Yeah, I thought he played tremendous, and I thought he let the game come to him a little bit more. He's got to continue to play slow. Yeah, that's why I keep on telling him he's an elite-level player around the rim. I think he makes 64% of his shots around 3 feet and in, and he has to play to his strengths. But I want him to take those open threes. And when he takes open ones, guess what? His percentage is going to go way up, because I have all the confidence in the world in his jump shot when you take good ones. And I thought Najee really grew up tonight, and I think he's getting better and better and better on the defensive end. I thought he was tremendous as well. And we need that out of him. He's a big-time player. We need him to play that way and continue to grow his efficiency on both ends of the floor. But I thought he did that tonight. He took a big step forward.
Who was doing the defensive job on Delonte Brown? Najee had #1. Who had? Did you have a bunch of guys running?
We did. Paul was on him a lot, Scruggs. Paul did a good job. Paul can guard anybody. He's so long, and he's so tough. And I thought Paul was up to that task. He did a great job to start the game with him, frustrate him, because he's a tremendous player. And Jack Owens runs some really good stuff to get him loose. So give them credit. But I thought Paul did a great job being locked in.
Coach, what do you think of Quentin's shot selection tonight? He tried to be a little bit more aggressive, but he took some long-range shots in the first half. What do you think of that?
I want him to take open ones, and it's like I told him. I've got all the confidence world in his jump shot. But, his jump shot's not the end-all, be-all. And I think, again, and when you look at his strengths, he's an elite-level playmaker. He can dominate a game without even scoring. He had 8 assists, 0 turns tonight, and we need that from him. But at the same time, if he's open, I want him to shoot it. He took a couple tough ones there at the end of the half. He took a tough one, and I told him. And again, it's part of it's learning through film. He's never been put in this situation before. Again, I have confidence in his jump shot. Absolutely, yes. I want him to take open ones, but I also want him to know, hey, where his bread is buttered as well, and we'll do that through film. But he's continuing to get better and better. I think he's making better decisions. He made more of the right decisions tonight than he did out in Maui. And I think it'll continually get better, and our team feeds off of that.
Kyle was pretty active, pretty efficient in that first half. Do you think that allows the team to kind of open up more scoring options?
Yeah, Kyle's the ultimate glue guy. He got a couple big-time offensive rebound putbacks, transition basket. He can make an open three. I thought he did a really nice job defending tonight as well. Kyle did. He had a lot of deflections on the ball and the ball screen, because he's a long kid, and we need that from him. And I think he's that guy. I've kind of compared him a little bit to Malcolm Bernard for Xavier fans that, again, from a couple of years ago. I think he does a little bit of everything for our team. He's a selfless guy. He really helped us tonight. Helped us get the win.
I'm on Mike back here. I apologize.
Yeah.
Is tonight one of those games that gives you a glimpse of what this team can be, the way they play?
I think so. I think obviously we got a long ways to go, and I think as a lot of times coaches and fans and everybody overreact to one win or one loss. Again, we're worried about that next day. We got to continue to get better. I want our defensive ranking. We have a ranking up in our locker room every day that we update. It's Ken Pomeroy ranking, and I want that number to go down. And I know our team's committed to that. And when we're committed on the defensive end, we'll score. I told our guys, I have no worries about us scoring the ball. It's all about the defensive end, getting stops, being committed to getting 7 kills per game, guarding the ball, being there on the catch. But I think we can be a deep team, Jeremy, and I think we have a team that's very talented, has a lot of upside. We have a lot of room for improvement, but it is early in the season.
Kind of a similar question to Jeremy, but how good does it feel to kind of get a full game like this under your belt, to kind of put everything together and knowing that you can kind of build on this going forward?
I think number one, it shows that we can do it, and you know, like I said, I think it started in practice. It started with our leadership of our players. I thought Quentin and Tyreek in practice over the weekend, this week, were tremendous. Again, because those guys will follow those two guys. Those are the most experienced guys. They know our defensive system, and they know what it takes to win. I mean, they've been in big games. Real big games. I mean, they played multiple NCAA tournament games. You know, we're going to rely on those guys. We need those guys to lead our team, and they've done a great job over the last few days. We got to do that continuing forward. But it does, I think, shows maybe a little bit of a glimpse of what we can be. But again, I know, again, without watching film yet, I know there's a lot of areas we have to improve on. You know, like on the defensive glass tonight, we've been tremendous all year. We've been a top 15 team on the defensive glass in the country. Tonight, they got us on the defensive. That's not good enough. And, you know, our guys will be seeing that film tomorrow when we meet before practice. But there's a lot of room for improvement. But, again, I am proud of our guys' effort and maturity. I thought we did grow up a little bit tonight.